Hello, my name is Scott Whittle. I'm a technology trainer with the Leon County School District in the Technology and Information Services section. Today we're going to be focusing on working within the homepage or dashboard section of the employee access. Earlier we described the different areas that we could go into with the home, employee, and the time off. We're going to focus on the homepage today and take a look at what we can do with our widgets. All right, once you have logged into the system, you'll see that you're on the employee access part here under the home. And then we have each of our different functions in this area, which is called the dashboard. The dashboard allows us to kind of have a landing spot or a portal page, in which case we can access the different functions within the Skyward system that are relevant to your particular profile. Now, each of these widgets are basically little mini applications and they reference different parts of the system, and you can do a variety of functions within them. Let's take a look at each one of these as we go through them real quick here. The first one that we have in the default arrangement here is the jump to other dashboards. Depending on your security roles, most users are going to have simply a Skyward user as they are employees. However, if you have additional responsibilities such as a registrar or an accountant, or if you're an administrative role or human resources, then there would be additional dashboards that would be in here that you could jump to those systems to access those features within the Skyward system. Down below this is our favorites. Favorites are able to be generated over here in this top bar, and that it works very much like a bookmark within a navigation browser that will allow you to go into a piece of Skyward that you access regularly, and then you can mark it as a favorite, and then it will put it down here in this part so that you can access that particular section without having to go through the full navigation feature of the menu. In the center here is the print queue. The print queue is designed to hold print jobs that you have requested from Skyward. One thing that we want to make sure that people understand about the print queue is that when you ask something to print within Skyward, it prints a virtual electronic version, somewhat like a PDF, and it will hold that there for you until you ask it to be opened up and printed to your local printer. Down below that is the district news widget. Any information that the district pushes out in that format will show in this area, just the same as the calendar events. Any events that have been pushed to the Skyward system will then show up here for calendar related dates. At the top right is your recent programs widget. This basically references the last 4 or 5 sections of Skyward that you have gone to, so that if you need to go back, you can just click here and it'll take you back to where you were recently. And the bottom section here is simply the district information, which would include the school district's mailing address. Now, as you can see, this has been scrambled. This entire database system for this training system is randomized data, so there is no accurate data in here that we are looking at. And that is our dashboard functionality here. And let's take a look at what we can do with these widgets. Right here on the corner, you'll see where we can select widgets in which we can add additional widgets or turn widgets off. But on the actual widgets itself, you'll see these little icons in the corner. As you hover over the refresh symbol, which sometimes you need to do to bring up the latest information in there, for example, a print queue, you may need to refresh it to get the job that you are currently asking to be printed for you. It will bring up a series of functions in there. I can close a widget out. It does not actually delete it, but simply closes it from the screen. I can ask it to set the function of this widget here in the second one. And then I have a minimize, which will basically close it down so that it doesn't take up so much of my board space. And then I can maximize it, which brings it back up. And then, of course, I can simply get rid of it if I don't want it. And that works on each of the different widgets that way. If I don't like the arrangement of my widgets on my screen, I can simply grab one, and if I decide, for example, I don't want to see the district information, I can X that out and it'll go away. And if I decide that I want my print queue over here instead, I can hover over the bar and then I can slide it over, and you'll see how there's a little dash line. I can drop it into another part and I can rearrange the screen to my preference. Let's go ahead and take a look at the widget options here. Once we select our widgets, it'll open up another screen. That screen will allow us to go in and modify any of the particular widgets that we want to see. So we have currently selected our calendars, the print queue, the programs, favorite, and district news. If I don't want those on there, I can turn them off here. Or if I would like to have additional ones, I could go in and bring those up by clicking on those. And then when I hit save here on the top right, it will add those widgets to my screen. And now you can see I have the latest payments, and notifications that I have not read yet, which are currently not there. So very easy to add or remove or manipulate those. And those widgets are there for your benefit to add those features that you feel are most accurate or needed for your use. All right, from there, you can see we also have some other options in the dashboard maintenance. Slide that back over there so make sure we can see them all. The dashboards are basically tabs, and what we can do with the dashboards is we can add additional tabs so that I can put specific widgets onto specific tabs if I would like, and I can navigate between them so that all similarly related functions can be put onto a specific tab. Now those are most beneficial for those that jump from multiple systems. So for the average employee, these will not have as much use, but if you have to work with 2 or 3 different portions of the system, it might be beneficial for you to create a dashboard and put all those similarly related functions into that specific one. And then when you navigate, you can basically navigate from role to role by changing from tab to tab, and then all of the related functions will be right there together. If I don't want one of those, I can simply click them, as you can see here on the top, by selecting that tab, and then I can delete a selected dashboard, or I can rename it if the name up here is not something that is able to be easily identified. From there, we can go back. Now you have to make sure any changes that you make in this area that you hit save before you leave, otherwise those changes will not, of course, take effect. And that is the basic function of our dashboard here. If there's anything that goes wrong and you accidentally unalign something or close something, you can always come here and hit Reset Dashboard, in which case it'll bring up the reset and it'll set it back to the default when you first came in. If you hit yes, everything will become rearranged and it's back to the way it was when you started. So there's always a reset mode there if you find you accidentally made a mistake. All right, and that is how we manipulate our dashboard and our interface, and we can customize that to our specific needs. And thank you for joining us today.